Good day everyone, I'm Waki Gutay, and the assigned topic for me is sign language. In order for us to better understand what is the use of sign language, in linguistics, sign language is a type of language that uses hand movements, facial expression, and body language. To communicate, it's used predominantly by the deaf in people who can hear but cannot speak. But it also used by some hearing people, most often families and relatives of a deaf, and interpreters who enable the deaf a wider communities to communicate with each other. Chapter objectives: to know what is sign language and identify its advantage and disadvantage. And let's now move to the definition of terms. Ethnologue, a reference book that provides information about world language, especially rare and endangered languages that are only spoken by a handful of people. The name comes from the Latin prefix ethno, relating to a group of people, and suffix log, a discussion on a topic. Home sign, the, the gestural communication system developed by a deaf child who lacks input from a language model in family. Natural language, also called ordinary language, is any language that has evolved naturally in humans through use and repetition without conscious planning or premeditation. Natural language can take different forms such as speaking or signing. Sign language, a system of communication using visual gestures and signs as used by deaf people. Sign languages, also known as sign languages, are languages that use the visual or manual modality to convey meaning. They are expressed through manual articulation in combination with non-manual elements. A full-fledged natural languages with their own grammar and lexicon, sign languages are not universal and they are not mutually intelligible with each other. Although, there are also striking similarities among sign languages. Linguists consider both spoken and language communication to be types of natural language. Wherever communities of deaf people exist, sign language have developed as useful means of communication, and they form core of local deaf cultures. Although signing is primarily by the deaf and hard of hearing, it is also used by hearing individuals, such as those unable to physically speak, those who have trouble with spoken language due to disability or condition, augmentative and alternative communication, or those with deaf family members such as children or deaf adults. The number of sign languages worldwide is not precisely known. Each country generally has its own native sign language, and some have more than one. The 2021 edition of Ethnologue lists 150 languages, while the Sign Hub Atlas of Sign Language Structure lists over 200 and notes that there are more which have not been documented or discovered yet. As of 2021, Indo Sign Language is the most used language in the world, and Ethnologue ranks it as the 151 most spoken language in the world. Some sign languages have obtained some form of legal recognition. Linguists distinguish natural languages from other systems that are precursors to them or obtained from them, such as invented manual codes for spoken languages. Home sign, baby sign, and sign learned from non-human primates. What are the advantages and disadvantages of sign language? Sign language helps build communication in addition to bridging missing gaps. When you learn sign language and practice it, it can actually help you with all aspects of communication. Even children who aren't hearing impaired can benefit from it if they use it during their early development years. The biggest disadvantages of sign languages, like ASL, it is access, availability, and stigma. Even today, deaf children are forced into a mainstream hearing schools, often in a minimally trained and not certified interpreter. If one is available at all, they are deprived of a language whose modality is native to them. And if their parents are hearing, they often refuse to learn ASL or expose the child to other deaf ASL speaking models. ASL is denigrated and treated as a lesser language than English, and so the focus becomes on acquisition of spoken English. On the extreme end, they end up getting CIS implanted in an attempt to make them normal. Hearing children, which they will never be, ACI does not magically transform a deaf child into a hearing one, no more than hearing aids do. Insights. Learning and understanding about sign language is important because as we live in a world full of imperfection, some of us having hard time to deal with our own disabilities. Sign language as it builds such communication between deaf person and use is actually a big help in understanding and expressing each emotion we had.